You need to detox, folks.
So you need to go on the ketogenic
And losing
diet.
weight is all about going to the gym.
Only ate potatoes and lost all my weight.
Fat makes you fat. Simple as that. So listen, weight loss can be a tough topic, and the most frustrating thing is when you put in all the effort, you go to the gym, you restrict calories and eat what's considered healthy, and it just doesn't work. Listen, obesity is a global modern problem, and the idea that it comes by eating too much and moving too little is very cute, but not helping. Now, what I'm going to explain to you is why this calorie thing isn't the real truth, why it works for some but not for others, how this all relates to your cellular health, and one of the keys to permanent weight loss. This is one of the keys you will have a very hard time finding by yourself, even though it is one of the most common causes for weight gain in our modern times. So let's go. Why is this calorie counting not the full truth? The idea is calories in, calories out. So calories are energy, and you require a certain amount of energy per day and burn it. That's calories out. You can get more calories out if you're physically active. And then you have your food as intake, so calories in. So if you eat more, then just burn more. That's the idea. You can use one of these calorie counters online to get your daily expenditure, which are all, by the way, as a quick side note, very incorrect, because your daily expenditure cannot be calculated by your age, height, and weight simply. But of course, then you get a certain number. Let's just say this machine told you that you need 2,700 calories per day. Then you just say, okay, so I eat 2,500 calories every single day now. What you're basically doing, or trying to do, is soft starvation. So you're eating 200 calories less than what you actually need. So the idea is, through soft starvation, your body will use up your extra fat. The same way, in a more extreme way, could be achieved by fasting. Fasting is starvation. Now, what happens when you fast? Your intake, calories in, go down to zero. So in theory, you should burn 2,700 calories per day now. Wow, that would be enormous. Now let's switch back to reality, because your body adapts to low food intake. Your metabolism adapts. The burn rate goes down a lot, so I can't give you a certain number at this point. Maybe it goes down to 1,000 calories per day. That's your burn rate now. And you will feel the lack of energy, your body temperature will decrease, etc. Now, believe it or not, the same thing happens when you restrict calories over time. So let's say that you eat 2,500 calories per day. The first few days it will work. You're gonna lose some weight. However, after a few weeks, your burn rate will be roughly at 2,500 calories per day. Because as I said, your body adapts, and you've just successfully slowed down your metabolism. Great job. While that time, you may have some side effects like low libido, low energy, low cognitive function. You're gonna have trouble sleeping, but you keep pushing even harder because you wanna lose that weight so bad. So you go to the gym, train even harder, and at some point, you've successfully burned away your extra pounds. Tough time you've been through, and now you don't want to eat any junk food. You don't want to see it because you've had so much trouble getting where you are. Well, you have some stress, and 2 weeks after that, you eat all that junk food. 2 weeks after that, you have all of your weight back again. Now, what if you had these sugar cravings for a reason? And most importantly, what if there was a way that you wouldn't crave junk food anymore, because you would just be satiated and you would be at the body fat percentage that you want to be at? Now, the first thing that I want you to forget is that you go on a weight loss diet to burn away your extra pounds and then you go back to your normal diet. Listen, if you want to lose weight permanently, then you need to be on a good diet permanently. Now let's look at the cellular level, and then I explain to you why dieting or calorie counting works for some, but not for others, and maybe not for you. We eat. We need energy for our cells to function. We are made of millions and millions of tiny cells. There are two types of energy for these cells: fatty acids and sugar. Fatty acids come from fat and sugar from carbs, or of course from sugar directly. Now the way that these two energies are being burned is different and very complex. All that I want you to understand at this point is that sugar and fat is no real energy. Sugar and fat needs to be turned into energy inside something called the mitochondrion. And this is where it gets really interesting. Imagine this like an energy factory. Mitochondrions are actually inside cells, and these energy factories need kind of like raw materials to create energy. One of it is sugar and fatty acids. One of it. There are so many cofactors, and these are mostly nutrients. But even the outer world can affect this, of course, like cold showering, exercise. Yes, this is where it all comes together. So sugar or fat is used to create something called adenosine triphosphate, in short ATP. This is real energy. Now let's imagine that your cellular health isn't so good and you have a magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is very important for the production of ATP. If there's no magnesium, then you can't make ATP. And so the sugar or fat you just ate ends up being stored as fat because your body can't burn it. What you're then being told is that you have a slow metabolism. No, you have insulin resistance. Really? Now, it is often a lot more complex than this, especially due to the mitochondrion being able to produce energy through different pathways. But the key aspect remains. You're missing certain nutrients and your cellular health is crap. You're not going to be able to metabolize calories, so your sugar and fat, very well. And another person that has better cellular function is going to be able to lose weight through dieting and calorie restricting a lot better. By the way, as a side effect of reduced cellular function, you have fatigue, low energy, you can't sleep very well, and most people treat it with coffee. So now I want to talk about this one very vital key for weight loss that I give away for free in this video. What we are going to focus on is fatty acid ratio. So there are two essential fatty acids. Essential means that our body depends on it but can't produce it on its own. So it needs to get these essential fatty acids from food from time to time. One essential fatty acid is omega-3, commonly found in fish, and the other one is omega-6. In today's world, we get a lot of omega-6, but that is not a good thing. You see, omega-3 and omega-6 both compete against each other. The ratio in which they should be a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, the fatty acid ratio of the average person is 1-to-20. So meaning 20 times more omega-6 than omega-3. Since they both compete, the omega-6 is causing low omega-3. Now, why is this important? Omega-3 is incredibly important for energy production. Actually, when the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio in your food is off, then you get energy cravings when you eat it. And as a result of that, you overeat. Because in reality, your body wants to get more omega-3, but it just never gets it. And so even though you may have excess calories stored as fat, you don't have excess energy. And this is one of the reasons why most people that are obese have low energy. Because logically, they should have unlimited energy. But in reality, they don't. So in here you could bring up this calorie nonsense again, but what is just not being recognized is that you overeat because your body is craving energy, but it never receives it. Now let me actually give you an example of that. I made a change in my diet some time ago and started eating organic beef every single day. Organic beef is already a lot better than the conventional beef. It has less chemicals and less estrogen. However, it's still being fed grains, and the natural diet of cattle is grass, not grains. And so there's a big difference in the nutrition between grain-fed beef and grass-fed beef. And one of these big differences is the fatty acid ratio. The fatty acid ratio of grass fat is usually 1 to 2 and grain fat usually 1 to 11. And the difference is huge. So before I could eat 400 grams of the organic beef plus other foods, and now with the grass-fed beef, I'm having 200 grams of that, and I'm so satiated after it. It is way more nutritious and so on. And it's really the fatty acid ratio that it comes down to. There are also many other benefits because high omega-6 causes heart disease and so on. Now, the best way for you right now to get less omega-6 is to consume less fat in general, because this is a list of all the fats high in omega-6. And they are being used in every single restaurant, in every single household. Our foods are basically poisoned with these oils. Some of these oils have as much as 50 times higher omega-6 than omega-3. 50 times. That's just pure omega-6 at this point. Also, all of the animal products in your local stores, whether it's organic or not, are all high in omega-6 because of the unnatural feed they're getting. Pork and chicken are really bad, and don't even get me started on conventional eggs. Now, fat does not make you fat, but it kind of does, as you can see. However, when you have high quality fat with a good fatty acid ratio, like in grass-fed beef or butter, you're gonna be fine. My solution was grass-fed beef from local farms. You actually need the nutrients in beef for your cellular health. For frying, I recommend that you use coconut oil, low in omega-6, and you can heat it. Restaurants are always a cheat meal from now on. They're using low quality fats, high in omega-6, and foods full of pesticides and other chemicals that also make you fat, but that is for a future video. Now keep in mind that the fatty acid ratio in your body has to change, and that can take months to years, and you really need to be consistent with this. Now I gave away this one very valuable key for free in this video. However, do keep in mind that you may need more keys for your weight loss, or maybe even every single aspect of weight loss. If you're interested in that, leave a comment saying that you are. It does make a big difference. If you want all the aspects plus my expertise, check the first link for an info call to a consultation with me. And a great day, I wish.